Good evening. Welcome to the Township of Lacey, June 11, 2015 meeting. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act pursuant to public laws of 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and the place of this meeting. We're going to begin with a salute to the flag and a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1, Resolution 2015-152, approving the annual fireworks display.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, approving the public display of the Lacey Township fireworks in accordance with the guidelines of the State Division of Fire Safety.
Have a motion? Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 2, Resolution 2015-153, authorizing a special item of revenue in the 2015 municipal budget.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, providing for the insertion of a special item of revenue and appropriation in the 2015 municipal budget known as the Chapter 159 of the Township of Lacey pursuant to NJSA 48:4-87. This is the acceptance of our Clean Communities grant funding program. We received $75,119.90 this year.
May I have a motion? Move it.
Second.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 3, Resolution 2015-154, authorizing the release of a performance bond for the Laurel Boulevard Road Improvement Project.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the release of a maintenance bond posted by F&P Contractors for the Laurel Boulevard Road Improvement Project. This has been recommended to be released by the Township Engineer, and the maintenance bond has been in place for a minimum of 1 year.
Can I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 4, Resolution 2015-155, authorizing the release of a maintenance bond for road opening permit 4597.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the release of a maintenance guarantee posted by V. Rose Excavating for road improvement permit number 4597. This is for the sanitary sewer tap for Center Street in the amount of $250. This has been in a maintenance bond period for 2 years.
Move it.
Second.
Yeah. Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 5, Resolution 2015-156, authorizing the release of a maintenance bond for road opening permit 4598.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the release of a maintenance guarantee posted by V. Rose Excavating for road opening permit, improvement permit number 4598. And again, this is for a sewer tap for Center Street as well, and an additional home.
Can I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 6, Resolution 2015-157, authorizing a lien for property maintenance on Block 848, Lot 48.01.
I just have to correct that lot. I used the house number instead. Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, accepting the certification of the Director of Public Works concerning costs incurred in the removal of debris and cleaning up of the property located at 848 Ensign for Block 374, Lot 48.01, and authorizing the placement of a lien against said property for said costs. This is basic property maintenance. This is a vacant foreclosure home. The lien is in the amount of $120.69.
Can I have a motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 7, Resolution 2015-158, authorizing the cancellation of old outstanding current and trust fund accounts.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the cancellation of old outstanding checks from the Lacey Township Current and Trust Fund. Current amount that we're canceling from the current fund is $8,501, and the trust fund amount, we're canceling $506.
Can I have a motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 8, Resolution 2015-159, authorizing the cancellation of old outstanding payroll accounts.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State of New Jersey, authorizing the cancellation of old outstanding checks from the Lacey Township payroll account. The total amount to be canceled is $1,157.53. This is probably the last time we ever have to do this because everybody does direct deposit now.
Move it.
Mr.
Second.
Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 9, Resolution 2015-160, authorizing the release of deposit monies.
Resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the refund of deposits held for the use of municipal facilities.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 10, resolution 2015-161, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution to Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills in the amount of $4,897,703.16.
Move it. Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes. Item number 11, monthly reports.
Tax Collector's Office for the month of May collected receipts in the amount of $10,335,222.13.
Sorry.
Community Development for the month of May collected receipts in the amount of $75,340.74. Municipal Court for the month of May collected receipts in the amount of $22,848.46. Municipal Docks for the month of May was collected in the amount of $5,500. Road opening permits were collected in the amount of $4,455. Recycling commodities in the amount of $1,177. And truck parking spots in the back for $210. And then for the month of April, the Tax Collector's Office collected receipts in the amount of $5,406,792.06. And Municipal Clerk's Office for the month of May collected receipts in the amount of $6,587.76. Motion to accept the reports is read.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 12, motion to approve township meeting minutes of May 28, 2015.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 13, motion to approve caucus meeting minutes of May 28, 2015.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 14, motion to approve a raffle license application for the Lacey Elks Lodge.
Move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have one add-on. Veronica?
It's Resolution 162. It's a resolution of Township of Lacey County, Ocean State, New Jersey, authorizing the employment of seasonal employees for the Recreation Department. We had two of our summer students resign from their positions, and we're just filling those two vacancies for summer camp counselors positions.
May I have a motion?
Move it. Second.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. Dykoff?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Yes.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes.
Mayor Quinn.
Yes.
All right, that's all I have to add on.
Okay, comments from the committee? Mr. Curatolo?
Yes, Mayor. Moving into the future, I think one of the vital issues we could all agree on is the power plant, the future of the power plant, the safety of the power plant, the decommissioning process. I've been trying to educate myself on the different types of decommissioning that could possibly go on. Of course, it's Nuclear Regulatory Commission regulation to have a plan and monies in place, and that plan has to be approved and reported every 2 years to the NRC. I'm looking forward to taking a tour there in the very near future. Coming from a health department background, looking for safety, efficiency. I'm going to have some good questions prepared, and look forward with my colleagues to just move forward in a positive direction for this town. I want everyone to know that we are definitely advocating for the safety of obviously for the safety of that plant, and the value in that plant, and the decommissioning process to go smoothly in that plant. Moving on, I'd just like to report also, I want to congratulate Lacey Lacrosse. On Friday, June 5th, there was about 450 people at the pavilion over there. They had their banquet. They've really grown as a sport. Pleased to see that growth. And you know, being a soccer dad, you know, for the last several years, except this past year, you know, soccer's an institution in our town. And you know, every Saturday when so many families wake up, it's just part and parcel of their life to be at Hebrew Park. So I want our soccer families, who are many in number, not to be concerned at all that, you know, these two sports can and will coexist. And I think it's just another great thing for recreational sport in Lacey Township. So I'm looking forward to that, and I know that things are going to work out moving forward into the fall and the summer months. And lastly, I would like to thank Lenoka Harbor Fire and our EMS squads. Last week, there was Project Crash at the high school, a vital program before prom, when young people make a lot of, you know, we see the wreckage and the carnage on the cover of the papers and in the local media. I go out personally. I have a pre-prom program called Project Dry through the health department. DRY is Driving Responsible Youth. I was fortunate enough the last several years to talk to our seniors right before prom, and then what we do is file outside and then see the accident recreation. And I want the people of our township to know that our emergency services were spot on. It looked as real and as visceral as you could imagine. The kids had a laser focus on it. They turned those two cars into convertibles with the jaws of life in about what seemed like 10 seconds. It was probably more like 2 or 3 minutes. It was very impressive. I think it's one of the most powerful programs we could have for our kids going into the prom, the cruise, different things that they're going to be engaged in. We want them to make good choices. That's a lot of what I do full-time, so I just wanted to report a spot-on, fantastic program, teachers, students, emergency service, and police. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Nikki? Thank you, Mayor. As far as Public Works, we have 4 projects that will be in the works in the upcoming. First, the realignment of Veterans Way. Veterans Way has become, as everybody knows, extremely busy thoroughfare running between Municipal Lane and Manchester Avenue. For this reason, traffic backup and stacking issues have become a very bad problem at this intersection at Manchester. The plan will be to reroute Veterans Way and connect it with Adams Street, moving the intersection with Manchester further north, relieving the congestion and stacking issues at its current location. The township is working in conjunction with the county, who are improving their portion of Manchester Avenue, creating another lane from the Adams Street intersection to the traffic signal at Lacey Road. Both projects, township and county, should relieve some of the ongoing traffic issues that people have complained about at these intersections. This is our goal, to have the township portion completed by the close of the end of this year. Second project we got is Cedar Drive paving, including the cul-de-sac portion of Maple Road. As discussed in our budget meetings, the township will be taking advantage of the $220,000 DOT grant. The project will involve the milling and new pavement of the entire length of Cedar Drive, including the cul-de-sac portion of Maple Road. Plans and specifications are complete, and the project will be bid on July 2nd. The project will begin by late July, early August, in order to complete by the start of school in September. Forked River Beach Bayfront Park rebuild. As everyone knows, the township park known as Bayfront Park was completely destroyed by Superstorm Sandy on October 29, 2012. Since that time, the township has been hard at work establishing a new plan for this incredible scenic area. 2 factors had to be accomplished. First and foremost, the protection of the shoreline from both erosion and tidal surge, and returning the area back to functioning park setting. I am happy to report that at this stage, both issues have been addressed through the help of our project engineer, CME Associates. The protection of the shoreline will be to establish a gabion structural wall running the entire length of the township-owned shoreline, and the site amenities will include walking paths, playground equipment, exercise equipment, sitting rooms, sitting areas, 30-foot diameter gazebo, observation deck, and various sitting areas. This plan is in the process of being reviewed by the regulatory agencies in order to secure the necessary permits. The township has secured a majority of the funding for its project through the New Jersey Economic Development Authority's grant program, providing the township can secure and obtain the necessary permits. And it is our goal to begin this very important project by the close of this year. If anybody wants to see, we have the renderings, I believe, on file, right?
They're actually on our website.
On the website, correct, okay. Last but not least, on the Public Works, Meadowbrook Beach top lot replacement. Another area devastated by Superstorm Sandy was the small top lot and play activity equipment located at Meadowlark Beach within the Laurel Harbor section of Lacey Township. Our recreation director, Jim Weiland, researched and found a grant to totally replace the play structure with all new equipment to include a play unit, swings, and activity center. The grant is known as the Michael Davison Foundation and provides grant funding to replace playgrounds damaged and destroyed by Superstorm Sandy. The structure should be in place by middle to the end of summer, I'm sorry. Here, if anybody wants to leave it, I'll leave it up. This is the equipment that'll be going in that park when we get it, so I'll leave it up here. That's what I have for Public Works. I also attended the Board of Education, the 3 sessions of meetings, the strategic planning that they did for the future of Lacey schools. The attendance was well up over some of the meetings we went to. I did all three of them, we're up near 100 people. A lot of local community people involved in, all parts of the community. And it was a lot of different things voiced, changes that they wanted to see. If anybody was there, you could see where everybody got around the tables, and we voiced a lot of different ideas, which I hope a lot of them come to, to be seen. Also, July 26th is our Municipal Alliance Senior Luncheon. The Recreation Office is in full gear. Beach badges are on sale, $5 a piece. Veterans are free as Lacey residents. That's all I have. On a personal note, Mayor, I don't know if I could do this, but this past week, we had a concert over in Seaside Park. I don't know if anybody heard of it. It was Mumford & Son. It was very well attended over there. On my own personal note, my daughter was the person who did the backdrop for the whole band and did all of their structures, along with 5 other people from Caldwell University and 5 people from Rutgers. So on a personal note, I want to say I was real proud of that. The press came there, the band came out to see it all, so it was nice. And why I brought that up, not only because it was my daughter, but other people, kids in the neighborhood, they get involved in these things, and it's a good thing to let people know out there what people have done. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.
Mr. Kennis?
Thank you, Mayor. Very briefly, if anybody's been following the news, I've been paying attention to the Council on Affordable Housing. They had a ruling in court about 2 months ago, and I took part in a webinar. And without going into all the details, the town has been pursuing it on and off for about 10 years now. And I would just like to say that the state of New Jersey is involved in too many things and wastes too much of our money. That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right to the point. Mark?
I second what Mr. Kennis said. We've been involved with COLA for many, many years, and I think we've come out pretty good compared to a lot of other municipalities. We zigged and zagged, and more often than not, we watched what other municipalities did. We took advice from our council, and I think overall we saved a lot of money. But it's a battle that goes on, unfortunately. Exelon was here earlier and gave us a $10,000 donation so we can have fireworks. It wasn't so many years ago that we weren't going to have fireworks, when we had much leaner years, because they're still lean. And that's one of the things we had to cut out of the budget, but Exelon came through, and being the good partner that they are, they continue to come through, and they continue to support the township and have this very, very worthwhile event. And as Mr. Chiritola said before, if you haven't been out to see it, it just amazes me every year how many people come out, families, to see these fireworks. It's a yearly event. We had an election this past week, a primary election, and pretty amazing. We had twice as many people come out as we normally do. Still not a lot, but for a primary, twice as many people. And I just want to congratulate all the participants, and I guess most of all the 5 Republican participants. Jim Letellier, you weren't at the Republican Club meeting, but I spoke of it. Money was on you. I mean, a lot of people thought you were going to come up one at the top, but you did a hell of a job. I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate Mr. Schubiger and Mr. Crowell, because they worked hard and they did pretty good for being their first time running. For Mr. Crowell, first time ever, and Mr. Schubiger, first time for a committee. Mr. McDonald, I want to congratulate you. I spoke to him the other night. I know Mr. McDonald for quite a number of years. He and I served on the Board of Adjustment when I first got involved in the township. And he's been the chairman for many years and does a great job, and I think he's going to make, hopefully, if he is victorious, will make a very, very good committeeman. And Mayor Quinn, I want to congratulate you. It was a tough one this time, but you came through as you always do. I ran with you many times, and it's always a good thing to run with someone like you who works as hard as you do. So congratulations to all the participants, and good luck in the general election. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you. I have a couple of things I just want to go over. First of all, Nikki, congratulate Marissa. I know she put a lot of time and work into that, and being the proud father you are of both of your children, I could have imagined you walking up and seeing that. So extend our congratulations to you. Like Mark said, the Exelon check is something that, we've come to rely on. Thank God for Exelon that they keep coming through for us. The $10,000 gives us the ability to run the fireworks. And for those of you that are not aware, it's July 3rd that we have them. The evening of July 3rd over at the high school. You can pretty much sit anywhere along the highways if there's no trees blocking and see it. So, it's a nice night. If we're unfortunate enough to have rain, then the July 5th is the date for our fireworks here in town. But we've been pretty lucky most of the years I've been involved in. We've always had a nice, cool breeze with a rainless night. So hopefully we have the same thing. But again, thanks to Exelon. Our farmers market is going to be starting up here in town again very shortly. And I just want to read this notice from Jim. The farmers market will be moving this year from the community hall over to the Lacey United Methodist Church parking lot. It's going to be in the parking lot directly next to the church, the wide parking lot where we usually set up our parades and all. It's going to open up on June 26th, and it'll run until September 18th. And they've changed the hours, so the hours are going to be 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you can't get there by 5 o'clock, you have the ability to get there at lunchtime now and get what you want. In addition to the current vendors that we've had the last number of years, they're also adding some new farmers and vendors this year, so it's going to be expanded. But I want to thank Reverend Applegate down at the Methodist Church for participating and working with us on this, because it's something a lot of residents truly look forward to. It's a nice thing to be able to get the produce and everything that comes right off the farms. And partnering with the Methodist Church is going to be good for both our township as well as the church itself. So certainly thank you to them. Peter talked about the lacrosse banquet the other night. I was able to attend the banquet on Friday night. Pete was there, and it was nice to see the numbers that were there. How many people actually play lacrosse in this town? I don't know the first thing about lacrosse. All I know is that Peter stood there holding a stick when we took the picture, like he was the biggest lacrosse player in the world. And if you ask him, I don't think he knows anything about it either. But it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with the kids and the parents. And it was certainly something that I was happy to be able to get over to and attend. Last Sunday, I was invited down to the marina, Tides Inn Marina, down on the Falcon River, and the invitation came from the Coast Guard Auxiliary that we have here in town. Our Coast Guard Auxiliary, if you're not familiar with it, is out on the bay pretty much all day, throughout the entire summer. Taking and working with boaters, trying to help people in distress, and they do a lot of inspections of boats. And they really fill a void that we don't have, the ability to have a regular Coast Guard here all the time, and they really do a tremendous job. They're all volunteers, but most of them have been in it for a lot of years, but they came up with a program, I guess it's a national program that they're doing right now, where they have these little stations at the different marinas around town, and the idea is to try and create child safety so that if you're going out on a boat, and you don't have a life vest for a child, these little cabanas that they have these life vests in there. And it's the honor system. You take out what you need and you utilize it while you're out on your boat, and then when you come back, you put it back in. I thought it was a great program. Everything that they do is either donated or I know the little house that they were housing it in was built by the people over at Home Depot. So to me, it's a real win-win program, and I want to thank the Auxiliary for all their hard work and for their dedication to all the people, because we're a boating community. We're an area of Ocean County where people really spend a lot of time in the water. And like I said to them that day, if it saves one life, it's certainly worth it. So it's definitely a well-run program, and I'm looking forward to it being utilized by more and more people. This Saturday, my little friends from Alex's Lemonade Stand, who I talk about very frequently, are going to be running a fundraiser over at the Hallmark store in the ShopRite Mall. They're going to be outside from 9 to 3 selling lemonade to, hopefully a lot of people to come by coming out of ShopRite, trying to raise more money for pediatric cancer research. It's a program that really has done extremely well in this town. And I was talking to the young Zoe Smith, who was kind of the lead when this first thing started. I was talking to her mom and dad at the lacrosse banquet the other night. Right. And they were telling me that this past year alone, Zoe and her little group has raised $20,000 amongst themselves at the different fundraisers that they've had, which all is going towards pediatric cancer research. And the Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation was so impressed with the hard work of these. I mean, these are boys and girls that are probably age 5 to maybe age 8. They were so impressed that they actually took them and brought them up to their headquarters up in Pennsylvania and gave them a complete tour of the entire facility. They met Alex's parents one-on-one and spent some time with them. and got a little more insight into what, it's all about and what the money that they raise is being utilized for. So I thought that was quite an honor and quite an achievement for them. And I was just very happy to participate in the ones I have participated in. I'm certainly going to be there on Saturday, and I would invite anybody that wants to come out and help raise funds for such an important cause to come by. The Relay for Life, I see Barry in the back here, probably talk about it. It was just held 2 weeks ago. We had it up at Veterans Park. We do it with Berkeley Township. It was a great event. The weather was fantastic. I thought it was well attended. I know you probably have the numbers on what you raised and all, but it was a great community event. And again, it raises money for such an important cause that it's something that more and more people should try and get involved in. But the turnout was good. The tents that were set up, everyone had different things that they were selling, and it was certainly a pleasure being up there with the other committee members that came up. We were all up on stage in the beginning speaking with Mayor Amato up in Bayville, who we shared a program with, and his committee. So it was a nice honor to be able to attend it, and I thank each and every one of you, Barry and all your committee that were involved in it and did such a wonderful job for such an important cause. Exelon had, talking about Exelon again, had an information session last week. Steve and I were down there for the information session, talking to some of the individuals that run the plant. And as Peter said, we're going to be going out as 5 of us to do a tour of the plant and get some more insight and education on the upcoming years for the plant itself. But it was a very cold, rainy night, and it was extremely well attended. So it was nice to see so many community individuals out there looking to try and get information, on what's going on and what the future is going to be. And it was great to see there was a lot of scouting programs out there, so the kids were all, out there participating. The election, it's a week ago. It's over. Jim, I congratulate you. You ran a good campaign. Unfortunately, it was a little down and dirty, more so than I've ever seen in all my years. And we're moving on. We're getting past that. We're moving on to November. I know, Barry, Greg, you guys are throwing your hats in, and Helen, and a few other people. So I look forward to moving forward. I just want to personally thank. A lot of people called me after the some of the flyers went out that weren't signed, attacking my family, and I want to thank everybody that called me with their kind words, because there's no place in politics for that, and I think it's been learned that that's not how Lacey operates, and I think moving forward we're all on the same page. So, but I'm very thankful to the voters. Tim is a great guy. I know Tim, and we'll move forward and hopefully have a quiet summer, and then we'll get into the campaigning again after Labor Day. So, having said that, I will now open the floor to public comment. Barry. Just your name and address, Barry.
Barry Bender, Historic Bay Avenue. As the mayor said, we had beautiful weather for Relay for Life. Actually, it was hot even.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't get that cold at night. People weren't freezing like the past couple of years. The gross figure at the end of the night was $75,800, which is our second best since I've been on the committee for 6 years.
That's great, because the number they announced when it started was 64, so you did very well during the course of the event. That's great. Yeah.
And what we worked out was last year, people were selling food, but by like 6, 7 o'clock, the food was gone. People staggered selling food. People were selling food till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning this time. Everybody had a very, very good time. Personally, I'd like to thank the people from Exelon myself, because we wouldn't have had much of an event once it got dark out if it wasn't for the lights that they donated. This is the second year in a row they've donated lights to us. And they're old, but they work. So, no, it lit the place up nicely. Again, when we did the Luminaria walk, we improvised once again because there were supposed to be candles inside, but with the wind blowing the way it was, we didn't want the bags burning up. So they quickly ran out and got the glow sticks and put them inside the bags, and things worked out very, very well. Appreciate you being there, Mayor, and look forward to next year's to see if we can set some new records. A question, though, about something else. The Bayfront Beach project, and you may not know the answer. I know that the plan is for the gabion protecting, but my question is, you have the private beach next to that. No, I know you're not going to do anything on it, but if waves, whatever, come in that way, do we have a plan that would keep it from undermining what we're doing? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a major concern for us, because that's owned by an individual association on the south side.
Beach club.
And I know there's been talk amongst themselves trying to figure out what they're gonna do to stabilize, because the threat will be there for them more so with their homes running along the beachfront.
Absolutely.
I know there's been some work done down there by one of the neighbors, and I think what they're doing is looking into the possibilities of DEP of getting some sort of permitting to do something themselves.
Right.
But, you know, we only are dealing with the front where the
Right, no, I
township has
understand
the
that. But the
ownership.
my fear again is that we did that
gonna
presentation
have a
2,
void.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
That the whole area is subject to what goes on in the bay, and if it breaks through there, it undermines what you'll be doing
You're
in the
100%,
park,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
would be, basically throwing what we're doing into the water, so
Yeah.
just wanted to see if there was any news on that.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting to see what the association comes back with, if they're gonna actually move forward and do anything down there. But again, that would be something that the cost of would be footed by the residents down there that
Gotcha.
are members of that association, so.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mayor. Good job on the relay.
Thank you.
Jim? Just your name and address, please.
Jim Latelli, Lacey Township. I want to start by congratulating you and Mr. McDonald for your victory.
Thanks, Tim.
It's always an interesting thing when you get out campaigning, you get to meet people that you then know or see people you haven't seen in years. And, I was actually putting money on it too, but.
I tell you, Jim, I spoke to some people and
I think whoever pulled the sirens for the power plant that morning chased everybody else out. But I want to congratulate you, and like I said, you were gentlemen, and Mark, I want to thank you for your kind words as well. The other thing, as you know, I sent you a letter, and I'm sure Veronica copied committee. It was nice. I want to thank Congressman MacArthur for getting back to me on my concerns about the power plant and the future of Lacey and the decommissioning. And it was finally good to know that there's $850 million being put in to that decommissioning. And I was glad that he's also encourages and supports a new plant at that facility.
Right.
So hopefully this committee could get together with the legislators from this district and the governor and the congressman and finally get something moving, because 4 years is going to go fast.
Very much so.
And not just for the tax revenue, but supply and demand. We lose that plant, we lost the other plant because of the gas line being stopped at this point.
Which just so happens to be coming back tomorrow morning.
Is it?
Yes, they refiled that, yeah.
Good. I'll have to get there to support that. But it's important because without the more we lose power plants, we're gonna pay for it as utility users because our rates are gonna go up. So we're gonna lose the taxes and pay increases. So whatever you can do to get the ball, keep going. I want to also talk about the ordinance that you're looking at, and hopefully as you move down about the gravel pits and the mining operations, that you would have an opportunity for the public, especially the residents that live out there. I know when you were on vacation, I addressed Mr. Kennis as the mayor. My concern is that the depth of the water that they're going down to mine the sand, I don't know for a fact, but from look at satellite pictures, I used to mine out there. I used to work for the gravel, Brevet Sand and Gravel, then became Atlantic Gravel. When I was out there was always inspectors making sure where the water table was, how far we're going. And I'm concerned because that is the only Class A water left in New Jersey. And even though, if you look at a topographical map, I'm higher than those plants. I'm down 110 feet with my well. But if they're mining below the 30 feet max, I believe it's 30 feet, don't hold me to it, from ground level, and they're down into the water table, eventually that's going to affect. So if possible, and my house is further away, but
Right.
you're affecting Cedar Creek, Factory Branch, and the other contributaries there, that in the ordinance, I don't know if it's in there or not, that you're looking at, but maybe somebody can include in the depth of the water, make sure that they're not beyond the depths.
Sure.
And some sort of testing on that water to make sure that we're not getting seepage from any of the old septic tanks out there or any old oil tanks along that place. So, because that goes back many, many years, that facility. So I want to thank you for your kind words again, and I'm hoping that, we'll have some input on the mining operation.
Yes, once we get something in play, we're certainly gonna include folks that live in that area. I mean, because it's quality of life out there, really, you know.
Yeah, and, we don't want to see, not against the MUA, but I don't want to be paying their rates.
Thank you very much. Internet, Mr. Moss.
Don't want this game drive over to Ruby, just a question for Veronica. No one mentioned about when the beaches are gonna open? Aren't
They're
there
open now.
Lifeguards and everything?
No, lifeguards start June 20th, I believe.
That's it, June 20th.
Usually it's the 20th.
The 20th.
The 20th is beach.
20th is when our lifeguards are gonna be on the
Yes, that's what I believe it is, yeah. But the beaches are open now, they just don't have lifeguards now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Regina?
Regina DeSenza, Sunset Drive, Sunrise Beach. I just have a couple of questions. Was today the first day for tax appeal hearings or the second day?
Today was the first day for Lacey Township.
Today was the first day.
Yeah, we've been
Okay.
hosting other communities here in an
right.
effort to help out the county.
Okay, how many appeals were filed total this year, do you know?
400 something,
Give me a minute, go on to your next question.
Well, the next question would be how many went for hearings, because I hear it's been like every Thursday for the next 3 Thursdays or something, the whole month.
I don't have a list of how many people are on for the hearings, because some of those can be canceled and withdrawn, so it's preliminary, and I don't have that list.
All right, 'cause my
Yeah,
husband
they don't,
waited
the county doesn't
4.5
provide me with a list of, there's 10, 20 hearings today, and next
Because I was
Thursday,
just
so on.
wondering about the scheduling. My husband waited 4.5 hours to be heard today. I mean.
Well,
can't
that's
you
usually, it's a full
stagger them?
7-hour day here for no matter which town is meeting here.
Right, but can't you like stagger them 2-3 hours at a time?
That's something you have to
Make it-
discuss with the county. The county board of taxation
Oh,
sets that up.
The county does the appointments?
Mm-hmm.
And
Not
it's on
our,
a
not our
whole
local
day?
assessor.
And even if you're called at 9 o'clock, you just have to sit and wait all
Yeah, because we don't know how long the process will be for each applicant.
We have, for this year, 2015, we have commercial appeals, we have 14 total. We have 97 vacant lots, which are all in the Toll Brothers job. They're challenging the assessments on the vacant lots that we have. We have 15 vacant lots, regular vacant lots around town itself. Assessor appeals, which are ones that we file ourselves because we believe that the assessment should be higher. We have 45 of those, but that's really a reversal of the other ones.
Right.
And residential, we have 242 total appeals that were filed, and 100 of those were filed by one single attorney in Toll Brothers job.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's, unfortunately, that's something because of the fact Toll Brothers contracts are coming in, $400,000 or $500,000, and the people don't, that bought earlier paying, their assessments were much lower, so.
I was just wondering about the process, because we've never actually had to go to court. And
Yeah, yeah.
It was a long ordeal today, and just wondering how that process works.
Yeah, we don't set that at all,
Well,
the county board does that, yeah.
They set it up. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
thanks, Jim. Anyone else? Hi, your name and address, please?
Yes, it's Louise M. O'Brien.
You can just push that up, it'll,
You ready?
Jimmy, just pull that for her.
I'm Louise M. O'Brien. I'm from actually Little Egg Harbor, New Jersey, but I represent a group called Change New Jersey Animal Cruelty Law S495. We were here on March 26th, and I did ask you guys if you would consider, the mayor and council members, if you would consider an anti-tethering
Yeah, you gave us a
ordinance.
booklet at that
Yes.
time, yeah.
We
yeah.
haven't heard anything back, and I was just curious if you had thought about considering this.
Actually, our animal control falls under the local board of health, they handle all
Right.
that. We did forward the flyer that you gave me, which is probably the same one you're holding there,
Yes.
to the board of health for their review, and we have not heard back yet as far as what direction they're gonna be going.
Okay, I just think it would be a really good thing for you to do. I don't know if you saw that Tom's River was passed, and we've had 35,000 likes. Just, that's only on one site, that's the Asbury Park Press. Everybody, we got positive feedback. It makes it easier for people that have animals and for the police and animal control officers to do their job.
Right,
It's
right.
not to punish good owners, it's for the bad owners that tie their dog outside. We had an incident this week where the animal control officer that I do know from this town had to go out to Predmore Drive. to a dog that was chained outside and left there for about 4 days. Because of the law, he could not take the dog. All he could do was leave a note. The girl who called it in, I'm just going to say her first name, she's a resident here in town. She tried to talk to the people and do what she could, and they would not listen. She had no ordinance that she could say, here's a copy of the ordinance, it's not okay to leave your dog outside like this conditions. Dog was out there all day, all night, in the pouring rain. It had 3 feet of tether because it had wrapped itself around the tie-out stake, and it could not move from here to there. It had no water, no food, and it could not get into the house. And those people came home at 12 o'clock at night, and she couldn't go over there. They didn't even read the note. So the next morning, somebody went there again, and they gave the people the note. They did bring in the dog for the time being, but as we all know how that happens, it's going to be out there like a lawn ornament again. But I just think this could be avoided. It would save valuable time, and I do hope you'll consider it. Tuckerton is going through on the 15th, and so is Berkeley. So I hope you will all consider it and do the right
I know
thing.
Mayor Amato's talked about it, and
Yes.
they're looking at it as well. I think
Yes.
Peter's our liaison to Board of Health, and
Okay.
Peter will
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
speak to the board and see what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I could comment on it. We did meet last night. It is under consideration. I could tell you factually that we have very proactive animal control in this town, and when something is reported, whether it's wildlife or a pet, and, you know, they are out there. I see those bills. I'm a liaison, I'm not a voting member, but I see those bills. The members of that board will talk to me. We keep an open line of communication. I know that this is under advisement, and I know that we also have contracts with Forked River Animal Hospital, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. And so if an animal observed needs some attention, we will have the animal control officer take it over there. So, I mean, we're as proactive as we can be, and I could tell you factually that this, you know, for many campaigns and for other reasons and social and civic events, you would be amazed at how many doors you'll knock on. Me personally, my colleagues that have animals,
Yes.
not only dogs. I think I can speak for all of them. We're dog people. I mean, we just, to hear that story, it makes me sick. So
Thank you.
I can tell you that this is something that we're not taking lightly. As a governing body, we have to look at all the effects down the road.
Yes.
And some of them will have some cost to bear. But as the liaison, I tell you, I will report back to you either through the mayor or Veronica. This is under consideration. I give you our word.
I do want to let you know that I did sit down with the animal control officer for this town, and he actually was very for this because it would make his life easier. Because when he goes out there, he has no law, nothing that can say or take that dog. And also remember, it's revenue for the town too, to hand out fines, and it will make people better, and maybe people wake up and be better, you know, responsible owners. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
very much. Thank you. Anyone else?
Seeing none, motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, folks.
Yes.